All right, we're going to spend another day on completing the square, and this time we're going to look at when a is not equal to 1. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, remember in standard form, here's our standard form of the quadratic. If that value for a is not 1, then there's a couple extra steps you have to do. Yesterday, when I did completing the square, all of our examples, a was 1, so we didn't have to bother with it. But today, I'm going to show you there's a couple other things you got to do when a is 1, all right? So let me walk you through it. It's not that bad, but it is a little different. So let's look at this. Look at number 1, 3x squared plus 24x plus 1, all right? The first thing I want to do is to pull out a, whatever a is. In this case, a is 3, okay? And I'm going to treat it like a GCF on these first two terms only. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, it looks like this. Y equals, I'm going to take the 3 out, just the 3, and I'm going to leave in x squared plus, now 24 divided by 3 is 8, plus 1. See how I pulled out a greatest common factor of just 3? Now I'm going to do what I did yesterday. Okay, bring down the 3. Now let's take this thing and make it squared. And let's copy the variable, copy the sign, cut this 8 in half, make it 4. And I'm going to do bring down that plus 1. Now here's the second thing that's different. Now I take, like before, I did 4 squared is 16 and I would subtract 16, right? Well, now I have to take into consideration this 3 in the front. So 4 squared is 16, but I have to multiply that 16 times 3, and that gets me to 48. So I'm not just subtracting 16, but I'm subtracting 48. Now it looks like this. Y equals 3 times x plus 4 squared minus 47. All right, now we're going to check them today just like we checked them yesterday. So let's see if we expand this, if we get back to where we wanted. So x plus 4 times x plus 4 minus 47. Let's see what happens here. So it's 3 times, when I FOIL this, I get x squared plus 8x plus 16 minus 47. Distribute by 3. 3x squared plus 24x plus 48 minus 47. Clean it up. 24x. 48 minus 1 is just 1. Did I get back to the original? I did. Yay, we got it. Let's try the second one. Same process. We're going to pull out a like a GCF right here. A is 5 this time. So y equals, I'm going to pull 5 out. So I have x squared minus 4x minus 3. Now I'm going to complete the square. 5x, copy the sign, cut this in half. Square it, minus 3. And what else do I need to subtract? Well, negative 2 squared is 4, but 4 times 5 is 20. So I need to subtract 20 this time. So as I clean this up, I get 5 times x minus 2 squared minus 23. That is the vertex form. So let's check our work, expand it out, and see if we get back to the original. X minus 2 times x minus 2 minus 23. X minus 2 gives me x squared minus 4x plus 4 when I FOIL. If I distribute the 5 out, I get 5x squared minus 20x plus 20 minus 23. 5x squared minus 20x minus 3. Did I get back to the original? I did. Let's try the next ones. Now this one's a little different because a is not just 6, it's a negative 6. So I have to be really careful when I take this out because it's not only going to take the 6 out, but it's also going to change my sign right here. So if I'm taking out negative 6, it becomes negative 2x, and I bring down the negative 9. So be careful about that sign change, right? And that's because I took a negative out. Now, well, let's complete the square. Copy, cut. I get 1 squared. Now, bring down the minus 9. Now 1 squared is 1, but times the negative 6 is going to give me negative 6. So I'm doing the opposite. Instead of minus 6, I'm going to add 6. Okay, that's different too. And the reason it's adding is because when I multiplied, I got negative 6, right? So be careful with that. Now let's clean this up. Negative 9 plus 6 gives me negative 3. All right, there it is in vertex form. Let's check it. Y equals negative 6 times x minus 1 times x minus 1 minus 3. Distribute the negative 6 plus 12x minus 6 minus 3. I get negative 6x squared plus 12x minus 9. And did I get back to original? I did, indeed. Let's look at number 4. Again, we're going to pull out a negative this time, so more practice with that. So I have x squared. It's going to change my sign from negative to positive. And negative 4 taken out would give me a positive 6 right here. Bring down the 3. Now let's complete the square. We'll have x, copy, copy, cut, square it, plus 3. Now, 3 times 3 squared is 9, times negative 4 is negative 36, but then I need to add it back. So it's going to be plus 36 right there. So I bring this down, x plus 3 squared plus 39. All right, it's in vertex form. Let's check our work. Y equals, let's expand it out, see where we go. Negative 4, x plus 3 times x plus 3 plus 39. So let's FOIL this. I get x squared plus 6x plus 9 plus 39. Distributing out the negative 4, negative 4x squared minus 24x minus 36 plus 39. Let's clean it up. Negative 4x squared minus 24x. This becomes plus 3. Did we get back? We did. One more example and we'll call it quits. Feel free to pause the video and try this one on your own, but if you're not sure, here we go. I am again going to take out that negative right there. The negative 1 is what I'm taking out. So it's x squared minus 8x plus the 7. Okay, now we're going to complete the square. Copy, copy, cut, square it, bring down the plus 7. Now, what am I going to do over here? Well, normally I would subtract, right? Let's see. Negative 4 squared is 16. 16 times negative 1 is negative 16. I need to do the opposite, so I'm going to add 16. So as I clean this up, I get negative 1, x minus 4 squared plus 23. All right, one last time to check this out. And we'll clean it up. All right, foiling this. X squared minus 8x plus 16 plus 23. If I distribute the negative, I get negative x squared, or negative, yeah, plus 8x minus 16 plus 23. All right, we should see it coming out here. Plus 8x plus 7. Did we get it? We did. All right, so hopefully you got those steps. Please feel free to ask questions when we get to class, and we'll work together on this.